Hey guys, Jacqueline Fernandez here at the Alert Center. We are discussing how to make Omaha a better place, and this is through discussions with you. So you can do your part to help make sure that Omaha is the place you want to live, work, and play. And there's a lot more, of course, that goes into this. So thankfully, we are going to introduce Sydney right now, who's going to tell us a little bit more about We Make Omaha and district dialogue. So Sydney, thank you so much for joining us today at the Alert Center. We really appreciate your time in learning a little bit more about how people from Omaha can really take part in this program.
Thanks so much for having me, Jacqueline.
Of course. So tell us a little bit more just about We Make Omaha. Who are you guys and who are you affiliated with?
Sure. We Make Omaha is the City of Omaha's comprehensive plan update. We Make Omaha is the brand that we've stylized to kind of invite people into that process. Knowing that this is supposed to be a new and exciting kind of look forward at our future at the next 20 years. A comprehensive plan is kind of a difficult thing to wrap your mind around. It's not really a fun name. So we wanted to give it a fun name to invite people to this process. It's all the growth and development that will happen over the next 20 years will be governed by this plan.
Yeah, and that is really exciting that you're letting people kind of take part in this and in what they'd like to see their city become and what's working and you know what we can do to make it a better place. So and we talk about guiding principles. So this is what we're doing through these district dialogues. Let's kind of explain what district dialogues are and then how they're focusing on the guiding principles. So sorry, I did a two-part question on you there, but let's talk about district dialogues starting out here, Sydney.
Sure. Do you mind if I actually talk about the guiding principles first? Because
Oh no, please go ahead.
the community came together last year with us over the course of about 6 months. We did several different activities, a community survey that went out online and in print, in English and Spanish. All public library locations had paper copies as well. We did event booths all across the community and collected 6-word stories for what our future looks like. And then we did 5 visioning workshops. And so all in all, we had over 4,000 people participate in that process, provided us almost 50,000 individual data points, and all of those data points were processed into 9 themes. And these themes represent the community's shared vision for our future. So those themes are our guiding principles. All 9 work together. No one is more important than the others. And they provide this holistic picture of what Omaha's preferred vision for the future looks like. So now, in 2025, we're sitting down with the community in every single council district and saying, what would it look like for these guiding principles to become a reality? What would change in the world around you, in your life? How will your needs change? And how do we start to make these things a reality? And all of that informs the plan.
That's great. And I'm just showing your website here. We're at wemake.omaha.gov and just highlighting those guiding principles for our viewers now just to kind of get an idea. So here are some of the categories: safety and public health, belonging and ownership, unique and proud, and then we have connectivity and accessibility. And the list does go on here, but I won't belabor the point any longer. But yeah, so these are kind of the things that are discussed at these discussions, if you will, use the word to define the word. Yeah. But how's it been going? I mean, we just had, I believe, the first and or second district dialogue. How did it go?
They've been great. So we were just in District 6 last week on Wednesday. We were in District 7 last night. These look like roundtable discussions. So you sit in kind of a small group. You're invited to learn a little bit more about the history of the district, who lives there, what the kind of population breakdown is, what people's lifestyles look like, and then a little bit about what the built form looks like. So when we talk about built form, we're talking about the kind of ethos and culture and the way everything looks and feels, and how you know it's recognizably that part of town. So just kind of helping everybody level set, and then we start to talk about what the district looks like now and how that guiding principle is maybe already showing up or where it needs to show up more, and then where those big changes we would expect to see in order to make that guiding principle come to life. So it's all done in that small, kind of intimate small group setting at your table with a facilitator. There's a We Make Omaha team member there to write down everything that happens at the table, so people don't have to worry that their voices are going unheard at any point. Nice. And then we all come back together at the end and report out to each other. I have to say that I felt like last night at our District 7 dialogue, the way that I felt like each community member was responding to each other, sharing their ideas, encouraging each other. There was a feeling of lightness and hope in the room. And I'm just really excited to see that continue. We have our third district dialogue in District 2 on Saturday.
Wonderful. Okay, and the very cool thing that I almost forgot to mention that thankfully you brought up before we went live here to our online audience, you make this easy for people. So let us know a little bit about what you are offering. You show up, let's say you have your little one with you. You offer some free childcare, is that right?
Yes, we make Omaha is very kid friendly. So older kids are invited to contribute to the participation. We want to hear young voices. If kids are too young to participate in a kind of discussion, we have a whole kid area with free in-room childcare by licensed childcare professionals. So there's kind of an urban planning city rug. There's blocks and toys for little kids, board games for maybe slightly older kids, but the whole family is welcome. There's free food as well at every event. And then if you would need to have assistance getting there, we have free rideshare as well. So we will call you a rideshare service to come pick you up and take you home at the end of the night or the afternoon.
Yeah, that's just great. My goodness. So there's really not an excuse why you can't show up to one of these discussions. So that's really awesome. You make it
Only
easy.
But I do want to say, if you
Yes, please
can't
do.
go to the event in your district, you're invited to come to other events in other districts as well and be part of that conversation. We also have a digital version of this. So if you can't go to any, or maybe going to in-person events is just not your thing, there's a digital district dialogue on our website. It'll be launching at the end of this week or early next week, and it'll run through the end of July. So there's plenty of ways to join the conversation on this.
Okay, that's perfect. Yeah, and then you do have this online. Oh, we got that little survey that just ended, but you get the idea. So this kind of takes into account different ways that you can learn more about these district dialogues and participate as well. So featured and ended, and yeah, so we'll get that on the website for you, and that'll be easy for people to kind of take a gander at their leisure as well. So that's wonderful. All right, Sydney, well, thank you so much for your time today at the Alert Center. We appreciate learning more about these district dialogues and how we can all, get together and achieve that sense of hope. And so I'm glad that was the takeaway that you experienced. So that's a very nice thing that Omaha's doing, and looking forward to seeing, what new ideas come out of these dialogues that people are having in our city. So very cool. But thanks so much for your time today, and hopefully we'll chat again soon. Have a good day.
Thanks, Jack.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right, so if you are just joining us now, we were just discussing district dialogues with We Make Omaha, a part of the city of Omaha, and this is a really great opportunity just for everyone in our city who might be interested to meet up in your specific district and contribute some ideas, learn more about the history, and just kind of get involved in what you would like to see as far as future developments go and this kind of thing, following the guiding principles. We talked briefly about some of those, so I'll just recap that briefly for you again. Safety, public health is one of those, belonging and ownership, and unique and proud. And there's a list on their website, wemake.omaha.gov. So that is something that we discussed today, and excited to learn how that turns out. I believe Sydney was saying the next district discussion is on Saturday, but I'll have to check my notes. So we'll make sure that is in fact the case. Meanwhile, I know a lot of people are thinking about the weather right now, so let's take a live look outside from our Blackstone camera. My goodness, look at all those clouds out there. Here's the forecast update from Senior Chief Meteorologist Rusty Lord. So he says today, expect a 60% chance of showers and storms before 6 o'clock at night. So he says the best odds are pretty much right now until 4 p.m. for something strong out there with some wind involved, a high of 86 degrees. Then let's take a look from our Northeast First National cam right now. Gosh, a beautiful shot of the Missouri River there. Tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 67. As we bop into the weekend, why not? Let's take a live look at 144th and Dodge. Friday, mostly sunny, a high of 90. 20% chance of spotty storms, Rusty's predicting after 10 o'clock at night. So maybe you don't want to go out and party after 10 on Friday night. If you want to avoid those storms, might be a good thing to do. Now, Saturday. Here's another live look at 90th and Dodge, partly cloudy with a high of 94, a 20% chance of spotty late storms out there, mostly to the north of the metro. Now, for all this information and more, you can head to our website. That's firstalert6.com. Let me refresh this grid for you so you can see the latest and greatest that our digital team is working on as we speak. So this is our homepage, and right now currently no breaking news banners, usually a good sign. For more details on the weather, of course, you can always click on this First Alert 6 weather tab, and this will have Rusty's First Alert 6 forecast in depth for you. So you can do the hourly forecast, the 3-day, the 10-day, take a closer look at your weekend, and you can check out the radar and all that stuff. But I will leave that for you as a web extra. In the meantime, just want to say thank you so much for joining us here at the Alert Center. We hope you'll stay tuned for our 3 p.m. broadcast with our Dave Zavolinsky coming up, you guessed it, at 3 o'clock. In the meantime, I do have another interview, a live interview with the Better Business Bureau coming up right here at the Alert Center at 12:30. So we'll hope you stay tuned for that. Until then, have a wonderful rest of your day.